webinar. The first in a series where Dr. Porter answers some of your most important questions. Dr. Porter has been an educator for over 40 years, working mainly with students with learning problems. Her experience, specialized training, and personal research contribute to her understanding of the vital role that parents play in helping children succeed and college. Uh, Dr. Porter created the Porter process so that all parents can make a difference in their child's learning lives. So I'll just hand it over to Dr. Porter.
Thank you, Bobby. Hi, everybody. It's really nice to talk to you today. As the introduction so kindly said, I'm an educator. I've been an educator for over 40 years, working mainly with children with learning problems. During that time, I had an enormous question. Why did some children learn more easily than other children? And it took me years and loads of experience and research to find the answer. And the answer is you. The answer is the parents that make a difference. So that is why I'm creating these series of webinars where you can get some of your questions answered. And this first one is about tutoring. And does your child need a tutor? Most parents rush to tutoring to help their children, and this can be a good thing. But tutoring may not be enough. This is what we're going to find out today on this webinar. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen, and then we can start the PowerPoint. Here we go. Ta-da! Almost ta-da. There we go. Okay, does your child need a tutor? Patricia Porter. Now, this is about me. As I've said, I was a teacher, I'm a researcher. I speak to groups of parents about different educational systems and about how to help their children learn. And I have become almost by default a learning strategist. I know how people learn, I know how children learn, but more importantly, I know what stops them learning, what stops children reaching their learning potential. And this is now my commitment in life, to really help parents, help kids reach their full learning potential. And I'm very fortunate in that I'm working with this company, Vnaya. Bobby, who introduced me, came from Vnaya. And this is a full parent support service, an excellent idea. But it's not just a parenting, it's about education. Its niche is helping you educate your child, helping your child reach his or her learning potential. Now, Vnaya has online tutoring. They have a parent information site that has lots of information for you to contact. They also have, and this is really important, they also have my diagnostic learning assessment. This is totally free. And I recommend that you go to vnaya.com, excuse me, and take this assessment. You will learn a lot about your child and your child's learning, and that will be really useful. I will talk about that assessment later on. And then Vnaya also has specially trained learning leaders who are ready to help you and support you. So this is the partnership between me, Leading to Learning, and Vnaya. And this is a series of free webinars. This is the first. This is really exciting because I know so many parents have questions and they have difficulty finding the answers, but we have the answers. So this series of webinars is going to address those questions and get you the information and advice you need to make good decisions for your child. And if you have a question and you want us to address it, please contact us, ask the question. We will find a way to get your questions answered. So this is today's question. Does my child need a tutor? Parents often ask this because they don't know whether they should spend the money and take the time to find a tutor, because they don't really know what the problem is with their child. And this is why you need to know, this is why you need to have an answer to this question. It can be costly if you're hiring a tutor and that's not the best way to go. It can take a lot of time, either time that the child is spending or time that you're spending getting your child to and from a tutor, unless of course you do online tutoring. And it can take a lot of effort to get all this organized. So what we're going to talk about is finding ways to support children in ways that work. Yes, tutoring is a part of this, but it may not be the whole part. This is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn why children need tutors. You may think you know that already, but I may have a different view. You're going to learn what tutors can do, and then more importantly, what tutors can't do. And then how you can decide whether your child needs a tutor, and also what else you can offer besides tutoring. So let's get started. Why children need tutors. 3 reasons. The main reason children have tutors is what I call catch-up. It's when they haven't understood something in class, when they're not keeping up in class, and when their parents think that giving them more school, giving them more tutoring is really going to help. Sometimes it can, but not always. The second reason is for accelerated learning. When you want your child to really move along in a certain subject and the school is going a little bit slowly and your child may be getting bored. Tutors are excellent for helping your child with accelerated learning, especially preparation for exams, really checking that your child knows information they have before they take the exam. And the last reason to get a tutor is what I called new learning. And this is when you want your child to learn something that's not provided in school. It may be dance, it may be music, it may be a second language, and you need a specialist tutor who can help with that. 3 reasons, not just one reason for your child needing a tutor. You're going to have to work out which of these reasons makes sense to you and your child. This is what tutors can provide, and they can provide an awful lot. They can be the backbone of helping children catch up to their classmates. Tutors can provide personal support, one-on-one support, or one-on a small group support. Children don't get this in class. Teachers have got to handle 25, 30, even 40 children in class sometimes. So personal support is hard to come by. A tutor can provide that. Tutors can provide help with specific subjects. If your child needs help with math, you can get a math tutor. They can really help with that subject. Tutors are trained to help. They're trained teachers, and they're often experts in a certain subject. If it's science, you can get help with that. If it's English, English writing, you can get help with that. Tutors can also, and they may not realize this, they can also be very good at helping children's self-confidence. Because if the child thinks it's getting extra and starts having some wins, starts catching up a little bit in school, then his or her self-confidence will increase. And that puts the child on an upward spiral of learning, not a downward spiral. So tutors may not think that they're doing this, but they often are helping children in this way. And then I've put help with homework with a question mark, because some tutors do this, and some tutors don't. And you're going to have to decide whether if this is what you want a tutor to do with your child. If you are spending way too much time helping with homework, then you might want to unburden yourself and ask the tutor to help do this. So you can see tutors have a lot to offer, but there's always a but. This is what tutors can't provide. Tutors are not the right answer to long-term problems. We talked about a tutor being really good at helping with 1 or 2 subjects. That is fine. If your child has got a problem in one subject, catch up in one subject, tutoring can be great. But if your child is struggling in school in more than one subject, if he or she is finding it difficult to learn, then tutors may not be the right answer, because your child will be missing some basic learning skills. This is what the diagnostic assessment on the Vnaya site looks at. It helps you determine which learning skills your child has and which learning skills your child doesn't have and need to develop. If your child is struggling with learning on a long-term basis, and by that I mean more than 6 months, more than a year. Okay, I'm not talking about 2, 3 months, and I'm not. Some children I know struggling for years and years and years, and that breaks my heart. But I think I'm talking about a year here. If your child has been struggling to learn for a year or longer, then it's because they don't have the foundational learning skills. And that's why Vnaya has the assessment to help you discover this. So a tutor can't help with these foundational learning skills unless he or she is specially trained to do that. But you can, and that's what we're doing at Vnaya. We're trying to give you the skills to help your children develop the skills they need. So this is when your child needs a tutor, when he needs help with a specific subject. Look at that happy face there and those happy kids. I wish it was always like that. Okay. When it's a short-term problem, you don't want to be paying for tutoring forever. You want tutoring to have a limited time. You need to tutor when missed some lessons, either through illness or been away on vacation, or has changed schools and has to catch up with what is happening in the new schools. Your child also needs a tutor for accelerated learning when he or she may be getting bored in school. A tutor can really re-spark that level of interest and that level of knowledge. And certainly a tutor can help with exam preparation, especially for high school kids. You might want to hire a tutor specifically to help your child get ready for an exam. That's when your child needs a tutor. Tutoring might not be the answer when, as I've said, the problem is long-term, when your child has been struggling for a year or more, and probably losing confidence big time. And when your child needs help in more than one specific subject. Tutors teach normally one specific subject. You may get a tutor who will teach math and science, but that's very unusual. They normally concentrate on one specific subject. If your child needs help in more than one specific subject, that's a strong indicator that he or she is lacking some of those basic foundational learning skills, the skills that all children need to be able to learn. And when your child starts losing self-confidence and questioning his or her ability to learn, that is not the time to put more pressure on the child with more tutoring. That is the time to discover your child's specific learning needs and then find strategies that you can use to help your child with those learning needs. Now, the good news is that you can find your child's learning needs at Vnaya, and you can also link tutoring at the same time as helping your child develop those learning skills, and that will make a real difference to your child. But how do you decide what your child's learning needs are? This is critically important. So many parents guess, and they get it wrong. We all know what happens when you guess, when you gamble. The solution is, the outcome is never very happy. So stop guessing what your child needs and start discovering the kind of support your child needs. And this is how you can do this. This is why this assessment is on this site. This is why this assessment is free and it's easy to use. It gives you a tremendous amount of information. Take the free, easy to use Porter Diagnostic Learning Assessment. It's my assessment. It's a learning assessment I developed through my experience and through my understanding of how children learn and what stops children learning. And it looks at two things. You will discover what learning skills your child needs to develop. You wouldn't be taking this assessment if you felt your child was reaching his or her learning potential, because you wouldn't need to know. Your child would be doing okay. But if you think your child could do better, you need to take this assessment and discover what learning skills your child needs. But it just doesn't do just that. It also shows you how your child likes to learn, your child's learning style. When you know what skills your child needs to develop and you know how your child likes to learn, helping your child develop those skills is really simple and easy. So, whoops, there's a typo there. It should be www.vnaya.com. Sorry about that. Take the assessment. When you've taken the assessment, there are trained learning leaders at Vnaya who will help you understand what the results mean. And they can really point you as to whether your child needs a tutor or not, or whether he or she needs some extra support. So this is what you can offer. You can offer Tutoring Plus. And the plus is offering foundational learning skill development to your child and strategies to make schoolwork easier. So can you see that the answer to the question, does my child need a tutor? The answer can be yes, but your child may need more than a tutor. And if you don't give your child that plus, that tutoring plus, you may be wasting hundreds of dollars, hours of effort, and more than that, you may actually be stopping your child from learning. I've seen this happen so often. So please go to Vnaya.com, take that assessment and find out about how your child learns. These are the next steps. I always like to leave parents with something to do. Discover your child's learning needs. Take the assessment. You can see at the bottom there, Vnaya.com. That's where you go. Please follow the links. The assessment will not take long and you will get the results immediately. Then talk to a learning leader who will help you understand the results of the assessment. This is all free, okay? And maybe then you can decide what kind of support will help your child. The learning leader will also help you discover the next step is how you can provide that support. They should have some ideas about what you need to do to provide the support your child needs. So those are your next steps. Discover your child's learning needs. Don't guess. So many disasters happen when parents guess. They guess wrong, the kids suffer, the parents suffer, the relationship suffers. It's a bad situation. When you've got the results of your child's learning needs, talk to a learning leader. She will help explain it to you and help you decide what kind of support your child really needs to make a difference in his or her ability to learn. Not just the amount they learn, but make a difference in your child's ability to learn so he or she can reach their full learning potential. So, let me see if I can get back to me. Sorry about this. I'm still working on the technology. Get out of screen. Okay, no, maybe I'm back. Maybe I'm out of screen share. I hope you can see me. If not, don't worry, okay? But if your child needs a tutor, fine. We can find him a tutor, okay? But your child may need more than a tutor. And I really, really urge you to look into that and discover what your child's learning needs are. I have seen children turn around completely when they get the support they need. And you can give them the support they need. And Vnaya is here to help you, and I'm here to help you. So thank you for listening to this very first webinar. It's so exciting, okay? And there's going to be many more coming. And if you have a question, let us know, because you have questions, we have answers, okay? Until next time, enjoy, and as I say, always contact Vnaya or me if you have any problems. Thank you.